It's the Sue Ann Show. Sue Ann Show. Sue Ann Show.
Of Hourish Show.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sue.
Anne.
Yes, that's right.
We got that right.
Yeah, we got that right, yeah.
What's going on?
Well, it's something that just happened now really made me laugh.
I'm laughing already, don't even know what it is. Go on.
Well, I cycle. We both cycle around, always have. And the saddle on my bike is really torn. So when it gets wet, all the water soaks into the soft,
Yes, I've been there.
porous fabric. And I haven't got it fixed. So my sister gave me a lovely little cover that just kept it all nice and dry. And somebody nicked it. I can't.
Hilarious.
No, that's not the funny story. That's not the funny story.
Thank
but I'm just
God.
saying people are... No, but...
Who's the guy who you brought in? Who's the fella who's editing your comedy that you just brought in there?
That's not part of the story, but it's just an aside about how shitty people could... Who would steal that?
Oh,
you
for
know.
God's
Anyway,
sake.
so my bike saddle is soaking wet all the time now again, and I'm terrible. It's one of those. It's like bottom of the list to get it sorted. So when it's slightly damp and I'm cycling around, you get this. My arse is all wet.
Yeah, it's
my jeans are all wet. But I was just walking up the stairs there, and there was two men behind me, and I was suddenly really self-conscious because it would be so obvious there's this huge, massive patch of damp on my bottom, and I wanted to turn around and go, "That's my bicycle."
Not wee-wee.
And then
It's not you guys.
should I?
Definitely. Oh, it's definitely not you guys.
Well, they should have cyclist jackets that say, "I'm a cyclist, not incontinent," with an arrow. Because I am going around all the time with huge damp patches on my bum from my bike.
I've got a lot of plastic bags on hand. You know, I just put plastic bags over the saddle.
That is the thing.
And I keep them in my bag. But you just reminded me of something when you said we've been cycling around town for years, which is true. That's how we get around.
Yeah.
It's so handy.
So handy.
But do you remember? Oh, you've just reminded me of the story. Can I tell it?
Tell it.
And you can
I
fill
love
in the
stories.
blanks.
Yeah.
So myself and Anne were, back in the day, like years ago, we were approached. We got a call to say that we were up for an ad for Murphy's.
What was his name? Peter Bray. Peter Bray from American A came over.
He was from
learning.
Canada, wasn't he?
He was from Canada.
And I don't know why I wasn't invited, but anyway, they had loads of money. It was back in the Celtic time. I mean, they were flying people in on Concorde. They were flying guys, creatives.
Yeah, over to London to
On Concorde, do you remember?
Peter invited me out to dinner in Locks with a bunch of them.
Locks, which is a really, really high-end restaurant. I don't know, it's something else now, isn't it? It's not Locks. But you were there, and there was Lon, there was Susan. Susan did minutes. And there was Peter.
Yeah, I remember Susan going, "I've got it down to an art. Well, as soon as I get on a plane, I fall asleep." There were these people jetting around
the world, doing creative stuff. Absolute, total rubbish. We could have written that.
We could have done a brilliant campaign.
Anyway, they were looking at the newness for a Murphy's campaign, and I better just say we didn't get it in the end. They went for 3 models.
Did they?
Yeah, they went for 3 models, and it was something, Sisters of Murphy. They called them Sisters of Murphy, and they went for 3.
We were on tour in England, and we saw that, and we were like,
yeah, they went for the Sisters of Murphy, which were they went for the kind of model thing.
"Do you think our whole lives would have been different if we'd gone the model route?" Anyway, sorry, that's a total aside.
Anyway, they had all this money. They had thousands and thousands, and they were just fecking up and down Ireland, spending it on this research. They were researching the campaign. It was gross. Anyway, on the budget...
Oh, indiscreet.
On the budget, Anne gets invited out for dinner by Peter. Peter, come to Locks. We're all going to... Now, this is the kind of restaurant that has no prices on the menu. And you got into a conversation with them about hobbies. And I'll always remember crying, laughing at this. What do you do in your downtime? And Susan was talking about skiing. She goes skiing.
They were skiing, yachting, water skiing. I'm like,
and then they came to you and you went, I kind of cycle around the place. I don't know. Anne, what do you do for your free time? We were struggling comedy writers.
I don't think I'd ever been on a holiday ever. I went on my first sunny holiday when I was 32. It was so funny.
I'll always remember that.
And I was saying to you, what should I have said? I like making rocking chairs out of pegs.
Yeah.
No, see, if it
To
was
really freak them out. You know those teeny
if I was like
tiny...
Dylan Moore, and I would have come up with the rye.
Yeah.
I like knitting puppies to go over toilet rolls. But it was so funny. It was just a different level. When I was younger, I used to get self-conscious in those kind of scenarios because it was so aware of being, because you're so poor, you can be so poor in the arts. And now I think it's brilliant. But at the time, you
don't have the confidence.
You don't have the confidence. And I just felt so...
intimidated.
Yeah, intimidated and feeling, I don't have a proper life. And now I go, oh, bloody hell. I actually went skiing once and...
I wouldn't have liked their lives at all. Anyway, it actually reminds me of another story. And I don't know, I think I can tell this because my hubby, P, we'll call him, he said, don't be talking about me in the podcast.
P.
So P was telling me
the son of R. Who I want to mention. I have to mention dear Ronnie.
So P was in once the musical, and who wrote the script for that? Enda Walsh, who is, I don't know Enda, but P loves him. He thinks he's a great fella, and he's also so quirky. They were all having this dinner with producers for some reason, and he was there, and he obviously had a pain in his balubas with the bullshit that was being talked around the table.
Enda?
Yeah. And P was looking at him going, and he was sketching. I have to do this. He was sketching on a piece of paper like this the whole time and not engaging in conversation because he's also a bit of an artist. And he was looking at one of this producer that he obviously didn't really connect with, and he was letting them all go with their bullshit talk. And then P was saying it was full of all that, and he's there for ages. And Enda, you don't seem to. Are you all right there? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm doing a bit of a sketch. I'm actually sketching you. To this guy, and then he was going, oh, thanks very much, looking forward to seeing it. And finally he actually did this. He went, can I see, is it finished? And he went, yeah. He just did that.
Stick man, that is a picture of a stick.
He just did that in front of the whole table, and Phelim said he was crying laughing, but it was his way of going, I don't like any of this.
Did the people laugh, or did they?
They were nonplussed. They didn't know what to make of him. I just love that confidence.
I love that.
It's funny.
Very funny. But he said it was just a moment of. But that was somebody going, I have no interest in this talk. This is all shite. And there's sketch. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Oh. And I'm just looking at you, as you were saying that, was distracted by the boots you're wearing. They are lovely.
They're ancient.
For people who are not watching this on video, could you talk us through that boot?
This boot?
Yeah. It's a kind of
The
a...
left one or the right one?
Very, yes.
It's a clog effect. It's got staples in it. It's kind of like a Dutch clog vibe.
Dutch clog
but it's
boot.
got...
So the clog effect is because they're clogs.
Well, no, it's got a clog effect vibe like you'd see on a Dutch wooden boot.
Yeah.
excuse me, you've got kind of a riding boot effect on the side,
Elastic
with the
fur,
elasticated
and also
side,
comfortable.
and then a
very comfortable
a mega quirky heel.
Well, I'm so short. I'm 5'3", and I really need a heel. You're so lucky being tall, but actually, you just feel like you need a bit of a heel. But they are years old, and they're Clarks, and I got them in the sale, and they never wear. I've had them for years.
Now they look really nice, because you were telling me that I should wear maybe a boot on stage.
You could, I think, well...
I see, we used to always wear heels on stage, but as I got older, they began to really, really hurt.
No, you can't have uncomfortable, but there is a way
when I first got out doing the show, the menopause show I was doing, I was wearing big heels that we used to wear. And I remember once going out and going, what am I doing? I wear really high heels.
Yeah.
And my feet were killing me. And that's all I could think.
No.
Oh my God, I just want to get off stage. These shoes are killing me.
No, it messes with your timing and everything.
It's hard to be funny with sore feet.
It's hard. You can't be funny.
Can you imagine what it's like for clowns in their big shoes?
Yeah, but they don't have to say anything.
You need to be grounded.
Speaking of boots, can I just tell you yesterday?
Tell me a story.
I went
Another
into, well, there was a little bit of friction between me and the salesman in the shoe shop yesterday.
Can you name the shop?
No.
Okay.
I won't mention it.
Which street?
But they're on Grafton Street, and they're
Why
high
are you
end.
two consistently trying to get into trouble by naming things?
Because people love indiscretion.
Look, everybody knows the high end shop.
It's closing down.
No, it's not. No, not that one.
Stop. Just get on with the story.
Anyway, I went in, and this is a guy who's been working there for years. He's in his 60s, and he's a really good salesman. I kind of know him from the last time. And I went in, and I was trying on these really lovely boots, but they're a make called Wonder. I don't know if you know the make. And they're incredibly uncomfortable.
The Wonder Boot.
The Wonder Boot. They're called One. The range is lovely. They look really good, but I was trying them on, and yet again, every time I try on a Wonder Boot, it's really uncomfortable. They're really hard. They're narrow. They're not a comfortable boot.
Is that why they call them Wonder Boot? It's a wonder people buy them.
Yes. I should have thought of that. Paul is on fire. So
Write it down.
So I see him there, you know, coming towards me, and I'm trying on a Wonder Boot, and
I love the living in hope. You know the Wonder Boot doesn't suit your foot.
I knew the Wonder Boot didn't suit my foot, but then I thought maybe the Wonder Boot had changed its structure and something magical was going to happen, and it was going to be all beautiful and comfy, and it wasn't. Anyway, wait till you hear this.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear this. Yeah. So I said, he said, are you all right there? They're a lovely boot, aren't they? And I went, no, they're not. I have to say, the Wonder Boot is very uncomfortable. Oh, he was really put out. He didn't like that at all. Do you know what he said to me? Well, he didn't draw a breath. Not even a beat. Oh, well, 80% of people coming in here through this door would disagree with you. And I went, 80%?
You did not?
I did. I went, 80%. I find that hard to believe. I said, I bet you haven't tried on a Wonder Boot. How can he say that without even knowing what it's like?
He said, actually, I'm a cross-dresser, my wardrobe's full of them.
No, he said, he was going, and then we got into a little bit of an argument. And I was going, I said they're hard. There's no like thing for your arch, like nice, you know, lift for the arch. And I said, now these are comfortable. Not these ones. I had other ones on, which are Romante, right? They're called.
I've heard of the Romantica, but that's an ice cream.
Romante is another thing, make a boot, and it's German. And he went,
oh, the Germans.
We got into a whole row about Spanish Italian made boots and German. He went, you need to go for the German. They're made for a wider foot. And he was basically starting to insult my foot. He was going, write these down. You need to go for Romance, Riker, or what's the other one he said? I can't
Booten.
remember the other name.
Lady Booten.
He said you go for the German. We were like talking about cars, German cars or Japanese
I know, but
cars.
when it comes to fashion, you don't think German. So it was kind of like
I wasn't
German.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I wasn't going to let him away with it. I said, you don't be talking me out of what I know, trying on this boot. They're not comfortable shoes. And then this other woman walked in, and it was like he said something to her. He went, oh, your woman down there is a bit something. And they both looked around. They both looked around at me, and I just threw the Wonder Boot back on the shelf and sort of didn't storm out, but
Left dramatically.
I left dramatically without a boot, without a bag with boots in it.
And just went 9.
Anne can't help but do her German stuff.
I'm never coming in here again.
Any excuse.
Danke.
Okay, Anne, that's an
No, but it's you.
Can I just throw a disclaimer in here for the listeners that the girls aren't experts on footwear and are in no way saying this is footwear shouldn't be bought. They're just giving their opinion.
If you have a slender foot, perhaps the Wonder Boot may suit.
I have a wardrobe full of magnificent shoes I've collected over the years, and I only wear runners now.
I know. It's so sad, isn't it?
Do you find that? I
find that very sad.
No, but have you? I found I would always put on a heel and going out. I don't anymore.
You can't. It's different days. It's a drop in estrogen.
They hurt.
Somehow the drop in
I'm
estrogen.
lathering on. I go, oh, I'll put on extra estrogel. I'm going to put on a heel.
Well, I met a lady who feels the same way, and she went, I'm not letting this rule my life. I want to get back into my heels. And she slowly broke her way
But
in.
there's another thing about going around on the bike is
No, you can't wear heels.
you can't wear heels, so,
No.
you know.
I know there is. Could we have worn heels all the time when we were younger? Were we just drunk all the time? We didn't feel
Apparently,
good.
the first historic use of heels was for horse riding. They were a special type of heel for fitting in stirrups.
Well, there you go. And do you remember this thing?
Interesting.
With your foot would slip on the pedal, and the pedal would go right up in between the heel and the shoe. And the heels I bought for the shows were good, solid, chunky, but it's not my look anymore, sadly.
I know.
Anyway, you were telling me about your hair too.
Oh, yes, I got
you were saying
bangs.
your hairdresser. Your hair's fabulous.
I got my hair done, not hugely different, but I just got a bit of a fringe, but she was amazing. She was using AI so casually and brilliantly because I just said,
Next time she's going to have a robot. She's going to put on robot hands. Because you see that on the interbobs. Robots cutting hair.
So this lovely lady comes to my house. She's from Albania and she's so nice.
How do you get in touch with these people? Like, you go to somebody's house to get defuzzed, and then somebody comes to your house to cut your hair.
And I'm going to that other lady's house tomorrow I'm getting defuzzed, and also I'm getting it's the Valentine combo of facial wow brow, a facial, a wow brow, and a lip defuzz. Not a lip, above the lip. My moustache taken off, basically. I'm getting my moustache off for Valentine's Day.
You're getting your moustache off for Valentine's Day. That's so romantic.
Really,
we'll see that over
really looking
breakfast.
forward to it.
Oh, you got your moustache removed. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Happy Valentine's. But, yes, this lady, what happened to her was I used to go to her premises, and then she lost her place because the usual shite, they put the rent up, she couldn't afford the lease. So she now just works either in her house or she comes to your house. But I really like her because I really like the colour. But then I thought, I'll just get her to cut my hair. So she just I said, I'd like a bit more of a fringe, and I've got a few photos. And then she went, no need. She went, I just use AI. And then she's just talking to AI takes a photo of me.
And just on her phone? Did she just use
She just took a photo of me in the phone, and she put up all these different, she goes, more curtain bang, please. Longer, shorter.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But the photo she took of me in the morning with no makeup, and I just looked
Do the face. Yeah,
I
so it
was
doesn't
just
matter.
like that, and I was just so shocked and depressed at my face. She kept
So you
saying,
couldn't look
"You
at
don't
me."
like the fringe," and I was just, "No, it's not the fringes. It's not the hair. Have you got anything? Can you ask AI
Yeah.
to get rid of my bags and my sagging jowl?"
But for marketing, that's what they should do. They should press a button, turn it into the optimal face, and then
Yeah. But it's amazing. She just showed me all these longer curtain bangs or longer fringe and did a shorter. No. So
it's a
anti.
lovely cut.
Yeah, she's good.
That's amazing. My mum gets a woman to come round to her house, do a little trim, and put the rollers in. But it makes me laugh because it's Manchester. It's like a tenner. She gives her a tenner.
Oh,
£10. There you go now.
still only £10.
It's £10.
Oh, that's
I'd
so
say it's a
cute.
special rate for Una.
Well,
Do you know in Manchester, like Mum will go, give the taxi man 50p. I said that to a taxi driver. It was like, give him 50p, and maybe she gives him £1 now. But I have to tell you a funny story about my mum and the taxi drivers. But I said to a Dublin taxi driver, because Manchester's different, it's kind of poor, And the taxi driver was saying, "Oh, my mum always said," well, she used to say 20p. And the Dublin taxi driver said to me, I wouldn't insult the driver with that. I wouldn't insult them.
did the taxi driver say that to you and your mum in the taxi?
No, that was a Dublin taxi driver. I was just telling about my mum and
you were telling them.
level. But the taxi company that my mum uses are all from Pakistan. And and some of them she has brilliant chats with, and some of them she doesn't. But there's one older man in particular who she always has the most wonderful chat with, and he helps her with the shopping and everything. My mum, she said, I don't know where my head was. I was having such a wonderful chat with him. We arrived at my flat, and I went, she said, she just wanted to continue the chat because she lives on her own, and she said, do you want to come in and have a cup of tea? She just wanted to continue the chat. She's such a connection with him. But of course, in their culture, you wouldn't go to somebody's a woman on their own.
No.
And then she said to me, "Oh, what have I done? What have I done?" It was kind of like Count Arthur Strong. My mum reminds me of do you know the comedy character Count Arthur Strong?
Yeah.
Me and Paul went over to Liverpool to see him on stage. But his characterisation is so brilliant because my mum's actually, her physicality is very much like that. And that kind of, what have I said? What have I said? I thought it was so cute.
Oh, it's so
because my
cute.
mum loves the chat. And then she'll look out when a taxi comes and she'll go, "Oh, he's not chatty. I don't like him. He's not chatty." She loves having the chat.
Yeah. It's so cute.
They're so nice. They're so nice. What was I going to say? You mentioned P, who doesn't want to be named. But,
Even though I've said his name about 4 times. But
okay.
At least.
But his father, let's just say his father was Ronnie Drew. And you had to stay with Ronnie and Deirdre when you were getting your house done up.
Yeah, we stayed with them for 6 months. They were so generous. It was such an amazing thing. I mean, it was so amazing that we had somewhere to stay. But I had Vivian there. I had my first kid there.
Yeah. In Greystones.
In Grace, not actually in the house. I mean, I had the child in Hollis Street.
Yeah.
And we moved. But we were staying there, but it's so funny because we were like, 30, 31. No, when did I have Vivian? No, much later.
No, yeah, you were a bit old, weren't you?
Much later than that. But I was just thinking like how I've lived half a year. You know, they weren't even my parents, they were somebody else's parents. But it's just so, it's hard, and it's nobody's fault. Everyone's been.
Was it hard? Because they were such nice people.
Oh, it's nothing to do with them.
It's been in somebody's space.
It's been in somebody's space, and you're kind of, you're aware of like how they run the house, how clean they are, tidying up after you. Like, it's all that stuff, and you're.
And it's really relevant at the moment because it's such a huge thing with people having to live with their parents because there's no.
It is a huge thing, and like we have a WhatsApp group at home. Like, it's getting like that in our house because there's 6 adults now.
Yeah.
And it's getting to a stage where it's like, when we used to share years ago as students, we used to share a house with 6 others or 5 others or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm putting in the WhatsApp group just a bit of housekeeping. 1, can you please, not use a fresh towel every time you have a shower?
Yeah.
It's like a hostel or something. I feel like I'm running an Airbnb or something. Honestly.
I have an image of you going, and here's your towel. Had it in the grey soggy towel.
No, but I mean, all this stuff.
I know what you mean,
and please, if you're having scrambled egg, don't leave the pot steeping. Wash the Jesus pot.
Yeah. You just reminded me, can I tell one story about sharing? It was Frank Toomey, was that his name? The lovely Frank Toomey. And he used to do hilarious stand-up. And I remember in the cellar doing hilarious stuff about
sharing flat.
His thing was banana bread. I had to hide the banana bread in the hot press.
It was brilliant.
I had to, and every time I used to meet Frank, because he used to be on Joe Duffy's Funny Friday, and we'd sometimes do that with the Newlys. And I used to always say, the banana bread in the hot press.
Yeah, it was classic.
But to me, that is a classic trope of what it was like, hiding stuff. And it was, I look back and I go, because it was actually wonderful sharing.
Oh, it was brilliant. I didn't do a huge amount. I shared in London with about 5 others, and everybody had their names on even their bottles of water in the fridge.
Yeah.
And little lines on their bottles and things like that. And was anybody using my razor? It was all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you're so young. You don't care.
But it was nice, and it was a continual flow.
Well, you were managing other personalities, and I think that's what the young ones are missing out on.
Yeah.
They're just missing out on a whole chunk of development that they,
you need to.
That's so necessary.
Yeah.
But I was. Are you talking about when I was
talking about that absolutely wonderful story about you were breastfeeding Vivian, and so you were producing milk.
So I was breastfeeding.
You were producing milk.
I was like
Doesn't
a cow.
this happen? Yes.
Yeah. So I was breastfeeding Vivian, and in the interim, as most people know, between feeds, you wear breast pads, and they get filled with milk.
I didn't know that because I've never been in that.
Yeah, you have to express or you get mastitis. That's the other thing which I've had.
I remember you telling me that you get mastitis, and I couldn't believe it because I grew up on a farm, and I totally associate mastitis with cows. But of course, it's the same thing. What is it? The milk gets caught in the milk, and it's extremely painful.
It is excruciating, and it's also really dangerous to let it go. You have to express, but it's really hard it's just timing and everything, and sometimes it doesn't happen. And I was in the pub one night, and I had Vivian with us, and we were meeting friends in Dalkey. What are you laughing at, Paul, in the pub?
And the pubs are never catered for breastfeeding women, do they?
Yeah, but for some reason...
2 beer mats in each bra.
Oh no, do you know what it was? We didn't have Vivian, that was the thing. I'd left him back, and then I realised I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble with the mastitis, and it gets really hot, and you get feverish and everything.
Quickly, it comes
quite quickly, yeah. And the remedy.
Well, you told me this, I couldn't believe it. Cold cabbage leaf.
Cold cabbage leaf. And people think that is bullshit, but it's not. It fucking works.
Now, not walking around smelling like cabbages.
Cabbages and sour milk.
Yeah.
But not if it gets really bad to the stage where you're in trouble, but like if you feel it coming on, you always leave a cabbage leaf in the fridge. It was brilliant. But this particular night, I always remember where we were in Finnegan's pub in Dalkey, and I could feel it, and it was getting worse and worse. But I was having such a nice time with friends that I was like, oh, I'll deal with it. We should go soon and get it sorted. But I went to the toilet, and as I came out of the toilet, I met this guy that I hadn't seen in years. And before I knew it, he just ran up to me, and he just gave me the biggest squeeze ever. Before.
Did you tell him?
The tears were coming out of my eyes. I think he just thought I was so delighted to see him. I will never forget the pain of it. I actually thought I was going to faint. Can you imagine being squeezed?
It's so good you're talking about this because I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
And
it is a thing, yeah. You have to express, you either bring your express pump with you.
I'm interested about the cabbage leaf thing. Is it just because it's the shape of the cabbage leaf and it's wrapped and it's cool, or is it something in the cabbage?
It's something in the cabbage.
There's something in the cabbage.
There's something in the
cabbage.
But anyway, back to staying in the house.
I can feel it coming in the cabbage tonight.
So I'm in P's parents' house, and his dad comes in, and I didn't realise he was coming back. I was on my own in the house, and I had taken out a breast pad, which was full of milk, and I put it on the arm of a chair with the intention of putting it in the bin.
So you weren't going to just throw it around the house?
He opened the door really quickly, walked in, and I'm looking at the breast pad thinking, how am I going to get the breast pad into the bin before him noticing it? Worse, he sits on the bloody thing in his beautiful Burberry Mac. And he was quite kind of doddery anyway at that stage, and he was going, what's that? Oh. And I went, oh, nothing. I'll put that, that was just I'll put that in the bin, right?
Yeah.
But there was a stain, milk stains.
Yes. And
P's mum was just, for so long after, I couldn't tell her. I was so embarrassed, and she was going, Ronnie's an awful stain on the back of his coat. I can't get it out. And Eamon down in the dry cleaners can't get it out either. He doesn't know. Cannot figure out I'll kill him, what he was sitting on. And I'm going, oh, I know, yeah, oh God, oh, that's awful. What is that altogether? Oh, the stuff, but that is real. Sharing a house with somebody.
Yeah, that is the ultimate.
Yeah. Anyway, them's were the days. And Vivian's 21 now. That was 21 years ago.
That is hard to believe.
I know.
I just remember him as this chubby, cheery little baby. He was the cutest. He was big, wasn't he? He was
a real chubby baby, and he learned to say hiya really young. Like before they should be speaking. Hiya.
My daughter was exactly the same.
Was she?
Yeah. She people jump when she spoke.
Because they were barely walking, and they were going hiya, hiya, hiya. It was so, and we used to get chatting to loads of people on holidays because he was so chatty.
Because of the amazing talking baby.
Okay, I love that story. Sue, thank you for sharing that story and that wonderful memory of that icon of Irish culture, Ronnie Drew, and your soaking breast pad.
You can email us on that note.
Do you have any other breast milk stories like that?
Mastitis stories. Because of course I grew up with Chenawunction. It's a queer name, but great stuff. Chenawunction was for cattle mastitis. Remember I used to say in the new list that a farmer did not to get in there in the other with the Chenawunction.
Your microphone is totally being affected.
Chenawunction and give it a good out.
Yeah. We need a Chenawunction. I wonder what Chenawunction work with humans.
Chenawunction work with humans. Well, we're past.
That's a side hustle we can work on.
Between your fuzz.
We've got hydrofuzz, fuzz, and what we call it Chenawunction.
No, Chenawunction for ladies.
Chenawunction for ladies.
Chenawunction, it's a queer name, but it's still great stuff.
Still great stuff.
For ladies.
For ladies.
Jesus, this product line is growing. Yeah. So if anybody wants to get in touch about that, we are contactable at Sueanne. Is it the Sueanne?
sueannehalfhourishshow@gmail.com.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. That's our producer and tech wizard.
And editor.
sueannehalfhourishshow@gmail.com.
It's the Sue Ann Show. Sue Ann Show. Sue Ann Show.
Half-hourish show.